This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth with some groundbreaking good news that I have to share with you in today's video, guys. We got a lot of information to cover, but before we do, just quickly, I want to affirm my belief that there's no such thing as transgender children. Just like there's no such thing as a vegetarian cat or a vegan pit bull, what you have there are abusive pet owners who are instilling their own biased worldly belief on their pets at the detriment of their health. Well, you have the same thing with so-called transgender children, and it's happening at younger and younger ages as we move on. So this is something that we have to expose, and we're going to do so in this video, guys. But you may recall that just a couple of years ago, I put out this video, Groundbreaking Win. UK court rules it is now unlawful to prescribe puberty blockers to children. And here's the video that I put out December 1st, 2020, covering this article in question where Kira Bell wins her case. This, of course, is a young lady who was coerced and pushed into this belief that in order to deal with her gender dysphoria, she should start transitioning into a boy, and Kira won her case. It is now unlawful for clinics specializing in transgender affirmative health care to prescribe puberty blockers to children as a result of a landmark legal judgment handed down on Tuesday, December 1st, 2020. And back then, as I said here in this video, Dan Dix of Press for Truth explains that yes, this is a victory. However, there are still muddied waters that need to be cleared. But either way, this is a step in the right direction for parental rights and to stop Tavistock and the like from continuing to mutilate children's healthy bodies. Which brings us to the good news for today, guys. Fast forward a couple years, and here we are. Tavistock Gender Clinic to be sued by 1,000 families. NHS England is shutting the Tavistock Gender Clinic over safety concerns following a damning external review. And this is already starting to create a ripple effect that is spreading. We see here Canadian specialists urges MDs to slow down in treating transgender patients after UK clinic closed. So this is a huge, huge step in the right direction, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I would say if you don't think that this is currently an issue or that transgenderism is being pushed on children, just get a load of things like this. I mean, there's even churches out there now who are endorsing transitions for transgender children, quote, at all ages. In fact, there are some people out there who are so adamant about this taking place that they are willing to physically and violently attack people who oppose this. I put out this video last year, man attacked by Antifa, then arrested for campaigning against giving puberty blockers to children. This is Chris Ellison. He had a sign here, as you can see. It says, "Children cannot consent to puberty blockers," and that was enough to have a violent gang of thugs in Antifa attack this man, and also the Vancouver police, when he was there, to arrest him for people harassing him. Let's take a quick look at this because it's quite important and relevant for today's video. Here's when he was being arrested, and look at this. This is Antifa attacking him because of his sign that children can't consent to puberty blockers. I mean, watch this. Oops. Let me just refresh this real quick. Yeah, so this is Chris Ellison. This is when he was in Montreal, and simply for wearing a "children cannot consent to puberty blockers" sign, Antifa violently attacked him with what you'll see here is like a street cone or whatever, and quite literally broke his arm in the process of this. Watch. Transphobes. F off.
Hey, yeah, fucking leave then. Turn the fuck around and leave, asshole. Get the fuck out of here.
Look how angry they are. This is because he had a sign that says children cannot consent to puberty blockers. And they broke his arm about this. So there is clearly still a lot of work to do in regards to all of this. In fact, I just came across this one that also needs to be exposed. 10-year-old girl becomes youngest trans model to walk New York Fashion Week. 10-year-old Noella McMyer is already making her dreams come true. 6 years after she began transitioning. Guys, this is a 10-year-old. 6 years after she began transitioning, that means that this 4-year-old little boy was convinced by his parents that he is indeed a girl. This is the parents of the child, this lesbian couple here, and this is the young boy who at the age of 2 told them, I think I'm a girl just like you, mommy and mommy. And they said, okay, well, let's take the little guy to therapy, where the doctor said, yeah, you're a girl, and then they started the whole transitioning process. Absolutely disgusting. It must be exposed. We're going to do all of that and much more in this video, guys. But before we do, I'd ask that you check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this important information. Here you can do a one-time donation with PayPal, you can do Bitcoin, you can do Subscribestar, you can do other cryptocurrencies here. You can sign up here for a monthly reoccurring contribution. You can send an e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca if you appreciate my efforts to continuously bring you this type of info. Of course, you can send stuff to my P.O. box as well, guys. Links for all of this are located in the description below. Thank you so much to anybody who does take the time to contribute to my efforts here at Press for Truth. All right, guys, I want to start with this one because I've been covering this for years, and this is back in January of 2019 when I put out this video. We need to talk about Lactatia, the drag queen kid. This isn't progressive, it's satanic. Queen Lactatia is Canada's youngest drag queen superstar who is being embraced by the LGBT community, idolized on social media, and praised at clubs and events as he dances and poses for fully grown gay men. One would think his parents are being investigated for child abuse, but the reality is quite to the contrary, as they too are being worshipped as brave heroes who are marching us into a progressive and enlightened future. In this video, Dan Dix at Press for Truth shows the true satanic agenda behind the push to normalize the sexualization of children, which is attempting to lead society into a time of pedophilia acceptance as a sexual norm. In fact, guys, I'm going to show you an intro that I cut for this video. I took a lot of time to edit together this intro to show you just how bad this situation is. So let me give you just a little taste of this video, and then we'll continue. Here's the intro to my video. We need to talk about Lactatia, the drag queen kid. This isn't progressive, it's satanic.
I think that anyone can do what they want in life. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. If you want to be a drag queen and your parents don't let you, you need new parents.
Are you familiar with the drag queen Lactatia?
No, but I would love to find out who she is.
Yeah, I'm an 8-year-old drag queen. Get it right?
Are you Lactatia?
I just told you that.
Oh my goodness, she's sassy too, man. Okay.
If you want to be a drag queen and your friends don't let you, you need new friends.
Fucking adorable, Lactatia. And is this your first time in drag? Not really. Lactatia, I was you as a child. Lactatia, I absolutely adore you, and this is brilliant, and I love the fact that you're here. And what I love most about this is that your mom is here with you, support you. Is that correct?
Lactatia is the deviest diva you could ever think of. My drag is like a boy transforming into something more feminine.
Please give
plenty of applause. Get out your dollars for this lovely little firecracker right here. Her name is Lactatia.
At just 8 years old, Nemes has already perfected his drag queen alter ego Lactatia, complete with a blonde wig and full makeup. And Lactatia and Mum Jessica join us now from Montreal. Good morning.
Good morning.
Got a pink wig on today, looking fantastic. We noticed you were practicing a little bit of the voguing, Lactatia, earlier on. How far have you got with these lessons?
Pretty far.
Pretty far.
He's doing pretty good. You want to show them a little hand performance?
I have won two Vogue balls now.
Drag is an all ages thing. Drag should be an all ages thing, and some people consider it provocative. It's not inappropriate. It's not provocative, and it's not something that parents should be afraid of if their kids do. So, because I think it's very fun, and it makes me feel very good about myself. Now I'm gonna ask you this question one more time. Are you a lactator?
Hells yeah.
This is Canada's most prominent child drag queen superstar who goes by the stage name Queen Lactasia. Alright guys, if you haven't seen that one, be sure to check the links in the description below because as you saw, back in January of 2019, and much earlier in fact, I was throwing together pieces to expose this type of stuff, and now fast forward a couple of years, and here we see it's continuing in a really, really bad way. As we see here, according to her parents, it's his parents, but as the article says, according to her parents, Norella started saying that she wasn't a boy when she was just 2 years old. At 4, she went to therapy and declared to the doctor that she was a girl. There's a lot of kids who at the age of 2 and 4 think they are something that they are not. I mean, they have pretty wild imaginations. And these two parents, much like the pet owners of the vegan cat and the vegetarian pit bull, are pushing their sexual gender ideology beliefs on their little toddler. And that's absolutely disgusting child abuse that needs to be exposed for what it is, ladies and gentlemen. While her parents believe she's too young to medically transition at 4, yeah, I hope so, they decided to socially transition the kid at 4. And at 7, legally changed her name. That's also when she started her modeling career. It's been so incredible and pure seeing her embrace who she is, her mother said. She has no fear when she's on stage and exactly how to work the crowd. Her parents are so proud to bring their trans daughter and want nothing but the best for her. As a parent of a transgender child, it's my duty to protect her and make sure she is safe, her mother said. For 10-year-old, she's very mature for her age and self-assured. Yeah, very mature because you've pushed ideas of just sexualization in general on children. She wants to show other transgender kids that it's okay to socially transition and to accept who they are. That is the opposite of what they are doing. You are clearly not accepting who you are if you are in denial of your biological sex that you were born with. How can you possibly embracing who you are when that's what they're saying here? And, this kind of stuff right here, this is the parents of the young child who doesn't even stand a chance, unfortunately. But they're starting to think outside of the box and try to figure out how ways that they can physically, biologically have babies of their own now, guys. Get a load of this. New 3-parent fertilization method may aid trans people in having children. You notice the move to calling people who can have children as people instead of women because of the transgender community. Transgender people's reproductive rights are a little discussed component of the global debate over reproductive rights rollback. It may be argued that the situation is even more complicated when it comes to trans males who want to have their own children. Guys, males cannot have children. I can't believe I have to say that here. Trans men parenting. What an insane headline. Antonio Kristalowski, Trent University, Belgium, discovered indications of a 3-parent fertilization procedure that can allow trans guys to procreate without the use of regular IVF treatments. According to Jalazowski, who presented her research at the European Society of Human Reproduction and Embryology, the procedure could support trans men's legal ability to father their own children. Every person should have the right to reproduce, she said in an interview with MIT Technology Review. This is just mind-boggling language that they're trying to say that men can, get pregnant. And while they're trying to come up with these scientific experiments to try to figure out how to create life, almost in a big slap in the face to God himself, well, in another big slap in the face while they're trying to create life, the trans community is wiping them out with little to no concern. Trans men talk about why they get abortions. We see here, I just knew that any time my body did something that wasn't considered female, it was confusing and uncomfortable for the teenager. Yeah, that's what being a young female is like in the teenage years. It didn't take long for all of her to make the decision. Kind of felt like a life-ending situation because I couldn't afford to feed myself. So when you're in that situation, like, abortion is the definite answer. So I just couldn't afford it. His boyfriend agreed. He already had the kid and couldn't keep up with those child support payments, so he can't afford it either. So what a great reason, right? Just to murder the young child. While this person was there, next to him was another abortion patient who told him she already had 2 kids and just didn't want another one. It was a nice little therapeutic moment where we were just like, yeah, this is the right decision for me. If you can't afford it, or if you just don't want one, maybe you shouldn't be having sex, because that's the consequence of doing so. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot use abortion as a form of birth control, and if you do, you are a downright evil, evil person who will be judged accordingly by your creator. So just wanted to bring that stuff to your attention too, guys. But thankfully, things are, as I said, starting to move into the right direction. People are recognizing what's happening, and they're taking direct action now. Lawyers expect about 1,000 families to join a medical negligence lawsuit alleging vulnerable children have been misdiagnosed and placed on a damaging medical pathway. And this happens all the time. They are accusing the Gender Identity Development Service at the Tavistock and Portman NHS Trust of multiple failures in its duty of care. This includes allegations that it recklessly prescribed puberty blockers with harmful side effects and adopted an unquestioning affirmative approach to children identifying as transgender. Last month, NHS England announced that it was shutting the Tavistock Clinic over safety concerns following a damning external review. Care will be handed to regional children's hospitals, and they put up a paywall if I want to continue reading. I don't believe in that, so we're not going to do that. But luckily, as I said, this has created a ripple effect, and a Canadian specialist is now urging MDs to just slow down on this whole transgender, treating of patients after he saw this clinic close. Canadian healthcare faces similar issues around treating transgender teenagers as a controversial British clinic, and needs to slow down and not move patients so radically to medical transition, says a leading expert in the field. As the number of youth presenting with gender dysphoria soars and their demographic makeup changes markedly, the healthcare system should examine why those trends are happening while taking a thoughtful and neutral approach to a young patient. Gender Healthcare made headlines recently when Britain's decision to close the so-called Tavistock Clinic for gender issues and replace it with a network of smaller centers. An independent review suggested that it was giving short shift to patients' non-gender mental health problems, and that evidence was unclear about the long-term effects of puberty blockers and drugs, often the first step in transgender transition. So I'll put a link to everything that you've seen in this video in the description below, guys. Just wanted to bring this stuff to your attention. Again, the notion of puberty blockers being okay for young children, I'll remind you, is what got my friend Chris here beat up by Antifa. He had his arm broken by it. It's just absolutely insane. But we have to push back against this. We have to be brave like he is as well. I want to show you, one time there was a straight pride parade going on in Boston. So me and my friend Lee decided to go down and cover this, and I put on a "It's Okay to Be Straight" t-shirt to interview Bostonians about their views on the upcoming straight pride parade. And that was a good video, guys. Got almost 100,000 views here on YouTube. Check it out if you haven't seen it. I'll put links to that in the description below, you know, where we're just kind of pointing out how the pendulum has swung so far to the one side. It's time we kind of bring things back into an area of, you know, reality. And I also want to leave you with this link to an incredible documentary film, which I'm sure you've probably already heard about it by now. What is a Woman? This is the official movie. Here is a link to it on BitChute, so it's not behind a paywall. You can go ahead and watch it for free right now. Excellent, excellent information contained in this documentary by Matt Walsh. I must say, the cinematography is good. The camera work is good. The narration is good. The research is on point. The interviews are bang on. It has a fantastic flow from beginning to middle and end. It's just a really, really well done documentary. As a documentary filmmaker myself, who has made 5 documentary films, I know how much time and effort goes into these things, which is why I wanted to encourage you guys to watch this one in particular, because Matt Walsh really did a fantastic job on this documentary, What is a Woman, which you know, exposes just how bad things are when you get to the point where politicians and people out there are too politically correct to define what a woman is. Because obviously the definition of a woman is an adult female human being. But if they were to say that, that would contradict everything that they claim when it comes to this notion that transgendered women are women. Just mind-boggling. So be sure you give that a watch, guys, if you haven't yet. And, you know, don't forget to check up on some of my coverage. You know, if you just go to my website and you just type in, let's try, yeah, transgender, and look at all the work I've done covering this over the years, you'll see I covered, you know, the swimming situation, the idea of offending transgender people, the laws that have been put place and forth to about conversion therapy, you know, the parent of the transgender child who is, you know, fighting for parental rights and to try to raise awareness about this for other parents out there who may not be aware that some of their children are being conditioned into this stuff in school without their knowledge. Teachers and guidance counselors and doctors are pushing them into this nonsense. I've covered all of that, guys. As you see here, I got pages and pages and pages of stuff. If you want to catch up on some of my coverage on this topic, again, check out the search feature at pressfortruth.ca to do that, guys. And that's all for today. Just wanted to bring you all of this to all this info to your attention, especially the good news today. That, you know, it's been a couple of years since stuff like this come out, but since then we are now to the point where places like Tavistock are being shut down, families are suing them for it, and as I said, it's already creating a ripple effect with other doctors who are encouraging and urging other people to look at this very closely and to reconsider what they're doing to society here. That's all for today, guys. Just wanted to bring all of that to your information. Once again, if you do appreciate my efforts to bring you this info, don't forget to check me out here at pressfortruth.ca/donate. Thank you once again to everybody who has contributed to my efforts over the years to bring you this info. Once again, that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to click that thumbs up button, share this video with your friends and family who you think need to see it the most, and stay tuned. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.